Hello, magical people, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Megmoonbeam, and I'm really excited to be here with you all today to talk about Uranus entering Gemini. Oh my goodness, we have been going through, Neptune entered Aries, Saturn entered Aries, Jupiter entered Cancer, and now Uranus in Gemini. All the outer planets this year, other than Pluto, he entered Aquarius at the end of last year, full on moving into air and fire signs. Very positive, uplifting energy. There's so much to say about this. So I'm going to talk about what this Uranus and Gemini transit starting on July 7th, 2025 and going until the year 2032 means for the whole collective and for each of the 12 signs. Thank you all so much for joining me. And before I get into the astrology, I just want to mention a couple housekeeping things. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and my content. I really appreciate all of your support. And also, if you'd like to check out my offerings and social media, those are available in the description box below. In particular, I'm really looking forward to my upcoming Age of Aquarius live lecture and also Astrology Level 1 course, both happening in person at Akasha's Den in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. There are in-person tickets available for both, as well as online streaming passes. So you can check both of those out over at the description. The link's in the description below. And we're talking about Uranus today. Uranus rules astrology and Uranus rules higher consciousness. So this is the perfect time to be talking about the astrology. And I do want to share as well that I'm filming this video. I'm actually pre-recording this video quite far in advance on Saturday, June 14th, 2025. I'll be posting this at some point in the beginning of July. And just wanted to mention that in case there's probably going to be developments going on that have to do with Uranus about to be going into Gemini within the couple weeks before I post this video. My husband Jens and I are going to be hosting our summer solstice retreat. Then we're going on a trip to Alberta. So there's still going to be content that you're going to see on my Meg Moonbeam channels. And some of it will be pre-recorded and some of it will be live. So I'll let you know when something is pre-recorded from advance. So thank you guys for joining me. Okay, I think that's all the housekeeping stuff out of the way. Now, okay, have you all been feeling, or have any of you been feeling major life shifts and shifts in the energy? I know I sure have, and this has a lot to do with, in the Western astrology, all of the outer planets, the outermost planets, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, all changing signs within a year period. This is a really big deal, and this is really unprecedented. So let's start off with, where have we just come from? We've just been going through Uranus in his fall sign of Taurus. Okay, Uranus and Taurus from 2018 until now, 2025. And also, you guys, be forewarned, yes, Uranus is entering Gemini on July 7th, but there will be one last retrograde from November 5th, 2025 to April 25th, 2026 of Uranus back in Taurus for one last time. And Uranus won't be in Taurus for another 84 years. So Uranus has a zodiac revolution of about 84 years. So we're dipping our toes this summer into Uranus and Gemini, Neptune and Aries, Saturn and Aries, and all three of those outer planets will retrograde back this upcoming fall and winter in the Northern Hemisphere time into their respective earth water signs that they've been in, right? So we're getting a taste of the future energies in summer 2025. And I'm really, really excited about this. So sorry, I went in a different direction there for a second. I wanted to start with Uranus and Taurus. Where have we just come from? So we've been in Uranus and Taurus from 2018 to 2025. It'll be technically until 2026 when Uranus full on goes into Gemini on April 25th, 2026. And, Uranus is at fall position in Taurus. So Uranus is at his weakest, least favorite position in Taurus. You guys, this is why things have felt so freaking unstable, in my personal astrological opinion. since 2018. Anybody else noticed that things are extremely unstable and weird and unprecedented? And it's like we don't have a security or safe spot or comfortable zone to tread on, to walk on, to sit on, all those Taurus things. So the good news is Uranus is getting out of his fall position of Taurus, which has brought challenges and instability, Uranus, to all the Taurus-ruled areas of life: comfort, security, pleasure, enjoyment, sensuality, the financial system, food, farmers, nature, the weather, Mother Earth, all the Taurus-ruled things, which is our comforts and securities in life, have been rocky and shaky and unstable. Now, the positive of Uranus and Taurus that we've been going through is through getting uncomfortable, we can actually have really big breakthroughs, which is kind of a juxtaposition when it comes to Uranus, because Uranus is about breakthroughs and moving forward into the future. But it's been quite uncomfortable with Uranus and Taurus. Now, Uranus is going into Gemini again from July 7th to 2025 to November 7th, 2025, then one retrograde back into Taurus. Then from April 25th, 2026, all the way until May 22nd, 2033, Uranus in Gemini. This is a totally different energy. This is going to change the game. And I think most of y'all are going to feel this big time. So I'm going to go through what this means for the collective first, and then we're going to get into each of the 12 sign readings. You can see where you have Gemini in your personal birth chart, the house or houses that you have Gemini, and any planets that you have in the sign of Gemini, because these are going to be the areas of life most affected for each of us. Aquarians that are ruled by the planet Uranus and Gemini, the sign that Uranus is about to be in, will be the two signs most affected by this transit. And also, if you are around 84 years old, okay, if you're in your 80s, you're about to be having something in astrology that we call a Uranus return, which only happens around every 84 years when Uranus goes back into the same sign as when you were born. Okay, so the last time we had Uranus in Gemini was from August 7th, 1941 to June 10th, 1949. And I think there was maybe a tiptoe into Uranus and Cancer in the latter part of that. But for most of that time, from 1941 to 1949, Uranus in Gemini. And if you're having a Uranus return, if you're lucky enough to live long enough to have a Uranus return, this is a very big breakthrough point in our lives where we're an elder. Okay, we're in our 80s and we're going into our 90s, and we tend to really not give a shit anymore. And there can be a sense of freedom and liberation that comes with those older ages. Being a human, a huge consciousness expansive breakthroughs as well, meeting new like-minded people and community in our lives. So happy Uranus return to anyone born with Uranus and Gemini. I'm really excited because I think overall Uranus way more likes to be in Gemini than the sign of Taurus, what we've been going through since 2018. So even though there are challenges from this transit that I am going to be bringing up with you guys, I think this is going to bring more positive than adversity overall. So Uranus is the planet in astrology that rules innovation, humanitarianism, freedom, groups of people, uniqueness, shocks, surprises, the future, sudden changes, things that are considered weird and different, technology, outer space, aliens, astrology, electricity, experiments, creativity, science, and the collective of humanity. So Uranus rules a lot of different things. And we are going to have a Uranus influence over all the Gemini ruled areas of life, as well as a Gemini influence over all of the Uranus ruled areas of life. Gemini in astrology, it's the third sign in the zodiac. And it's a very fun, playful sign. It's one of the signs that rules the inner child, curiosity, our early years being in school, learning subjects. Did I say the word curiosity already? I might have already said that. That's one of the really big keywords, curiosity. mischievousness, local neighborhoods, local communities, our local day-to-day world. It's information, Gemini's communication, friends, siblings, neighbors, short distance travel, day-to-day business and marketing. Gemini rules a lot of different things. Okay. And Uranus is, as I like to call him, one of the two energizer bunnies. Okay. Well, actually there's three. The Sun, Mars, and Uranus I consider to be like the energizer bunnies. I like to call them that. They're the heavenly bodies that, give us life force, give us electric circuitry impulse activation. So this is very energizing. And sometimes in the challenging sense can be over-energizing when we have Uranus in one of his most powerful placements, actually. And Gemini rules a lot of different areas of our day-to-day life. So we're going to be seeing this Uranian influence literally everywhere in our day-to-day life. And remember, Uranus is the future. So one of my predictions with this transit is we're really starting to step into the future, quite fast-paced now moving forward, the future that we've been waiting for, which is so exciting. It's also really cool, and let me show you guys here in the chart. For the beginning of this Uranus in Gemini transit in 2025 and the start of 2026 as well, we've got something very special, auspicious, and rare, which is the planet Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto, all of the outermost planets in positive aspects to each other. And at one point, they won't be completely exact at the same time, but will be almost exact. If I'm remembering correctly, I think it's the end of August, beginning of September. But they're in very strong positive aspects throughout the summer of 2025. So yes, there's very intense things going on in the world throughout the rest of 2025. Also going into 2026 with this Saturn-Neptune conjunction in the sign of Aries. Stay tuned. I'm going to do a whole video specifically on the Saturn-Neptune conjunction when I get back from my travels mid-July, so stay tuned for that. Even though there's huge dissolving the structures of life and the matrix, okay, which does bring major challenge and can be kind of scary in ways. With all the outer planets in positive aspects, this is divine support. This is divine protection. And this is not things completely falling apart. Okay, that's my personal astrological take on this. So it is the end of the world as we know it. We are living in end times. But it's not an apocalypse. The root of the word apocalypse means the end of a world as we know it and the beginning of a new one. It's not like a scary apocalypse. This is a uplifting, awakening apocalypse. So I love, love, love that as we're starting this Uranus and Gemini transit, this is so rare. Uranus sextile Neptune and Saturn. Pluto sextile Saturn and Neptune. Uranus trine Pluto, and they will all be exactly at 1 degrees in their respective air and fire signs. I think it's the end of August, beginning of September. And I think Saturn is involved in that, or he might be at 0 degrees, but definitely Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. There will be a point late summer where they'll all be at 1 degrees in those air and fire signs. So this is positive energy, positive support, positive breakthroughs for each of us and the collective of humanity. I think it's also important to note that this is actually what I've got up here, you guys, is called the ingress chart for the exact moment when Uranus enters 0 degrees of Gemini, 0 minutes. So Uranus is going to enter Gemini on July 7th, 2025 at 3:47 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. And interesting, when Uranus enters Gemini, actually, the whole transit is under the influence of this ingress chart where we've got the trine to Pluto, we've got the sextile to Saturn and Neptune. Very, very strong. We've got Uranus conjunct one of the benefics, Venus, okay, in Gemini, which is a lighter place for her to be at a Taurus degree. So with Uranus conjunct Venus in the ingress chart, this is a very big change innovation in the Venus ruled areas of life for the next 7 years. Venus is our collective values, the financial system, our committed relationships, contracts, obligations, our pleasures and enjoyments in life. So I think this is quite benefic. This is heralding quite a benefic Uranus and Gemini transit. And yes, okay, some of you fellow astrologers may already know, or historians may already know, that every time we've had Uranus and Gemini, since the inception of the United States of America, there has been one of the major wars that America's been involved in, okay? The Civil War happened with Uranus and Gemini. World War II happened with Uranus and Gemini. I want you guys to remember that we are in the greater astrological ages, okay? We are entering a light age. We are traveling through the galaxy that we are in. We have entered the photon band. I'm going to have to do a whole separate video to explain what the heck this means. You can also hear this in my upcoming Age of Aquarius live lecture that I'll be doing. Link is below. I'm going to be talking about what the heck is this greater astrological age? Why are some of the woo-woo people like myself saying this is not the end of the world in a negative, this is actually the end of the world in a good way, and we're entering more positive times, and every day the energy is getting lighter and lighter and lighter. We're entering a light age. We're not going down into a dark age. So the path into this, and this is my personal take, some of you guys may disagree with me, this is not through a crazy, destructive world war, okay? And that is something, even though, okay, yeah, we got a lot in Aries in 2025 and 2026. So yeah, the astrology is there that there could be the potential for a world war, okay? But with a lot of these other positive things that we have, and also us entering a greater astrological light age, I don't think we have to go into that place. And we've already been through so much, in particular in the past 5 years. So I invite you guys, if it resonates, for you to envision us continuing to enter this age of Aquarius and this light age through as less, I don't want to use the word challenge because challenges can be good for breakthroughs, but as less crisis as possible. Okay, let's be changing our framework, Uranus, changing our higher mind, that this could actually be fun. This could actually happen in a different kind of way where it isn't that bad as we thought it was going to be, which I think actually might be the case. I hope that made sense how I just explained that piece. Let me know in the comments if you have anything to add to that. So ways that we can work with this Uranus in Gemini transit. Number one, be open and ready for fast change and innovation. Okay, because you don't want to get left behind. Gemini rules a lot of areas of life, such as communication, learning, media, marketing, local communities, gadgets, a lot of our day-to-day things. So, you're going to have to keep up with the pace to stay in an innovative framework, whether that's on the personal level, the professional level, even the spiritual level. There's going to be a lot revealed. So be open. It's important for us to be open to change. Also important for us to stay curious. It's the sign that rules curiosity, informed and connected to your inner child. Gemini is one of the signs that rules the inner child. So having a fun, playful, maybe even mischievous attitude through this transit can really help. Not taking things so seriously. So much is going to be changing. You guys are going to see once Uranus goes into Gemini, it's going to be fast, fast, fast. You're going to want to stay lighthearted, having fun, laughing through it, not taking it so seriously will help to, I'm hearing Spirit say, acclimatize ourselves to the energies. Another way we can work with this transit is it's a great time to learn about Gemini rules learning, taking in new information regarding Uranus ruled things. Uranus is spirituality. Uranus is astrology. Uranus is spiritual science, technology. Okay, so it's a great time for learning, taking courses, also teaching as well. And also important during this transit to be proactively getting connected to your like-minded community, neighbors, and friends. Okay, that's going to be a very important piece of how we're going to get through these times. It's going to be very helpful for us to have strong relationships within Gemini is our local community. Local friends, local neighbors, local farmers, local people that you know and you have good connections with, because there's going to be a lot changing really fast within a short amount of time with all the changes that are going on the planet. This is not the time to be a hermit. Okay, Spirit just wants me to say that right now. If you've been a hermit lately with Neptune in Pisces and Saturn in Pisces and Saturn in Aquarius, no, Uranus and Gemini, it's time to get out of hermit mode and get into getting connected to your like-minded people within your vicinity. Okay, that's very, very important. Also, be ready for more people waking up out of the matrix, even more so than they already have been. Remember, Uranus is one of the things in astrology that rules our higher consciousness. We'll be having to have conversations, Gemini rules conversations, and explaining things to support loved ones that are waking up. Okay, if you haven't already had that. And another way we can work with this transit is, Uranus and Gemini, they're both highly creative influences in astrology. This is an amazing time to get creative, whether that's through speaking, writing, singing, comedy, movies, art, any sort of creativity, photography. Highly, highly creative time. Some predictions that I have for this transit. Number one, and I always say this with Uranus or Aquarius, okay? Uranus and Aquarius rule unpredictability, okay? So there are things about Uranus transits that are unpredictable. Some of you guys may not like me saying that, but I'm just being honest as an astrologer. This is the planet that rules unpredictability. So things happening in a different way than we think it's going to be, shocks and surprises, right? So be open to unpredictability, particularly in 2025 and 2026, when Uranus is at 0 and 1 degrees, the critical degrees. There's going to be a lot of shocking, sudden, fast-paced events and world changes. Again, I already said changes starting to happen faster, even more people waking up than all have been, more local community protests, activism, and rebelliousness. Uranus rules our higher consciousness expansion. But Gemini rules things being doubled, or two different options, not just one thing. It's, after all, symbolized by the twins, okay? Something that is doubled. So are you going to try to do higher consciousness expansion the natural way? Or are you going to try to do that the unnatural way? Really a higher consciousness expansion in the spiritual sense, but is a higher consciousness expansion in the AI sense, okay? So personally, and this is Meg personally, I hope we don't see people getting brain chips, but that's already happening. And that's likely to be something that we're going to have with Uranus and Gemini and Pluto and Aquarius, which will bring expansion of people's intelligence and consciousness, but it's not going to be in a natural way. So be very mindful during this transit. Are you going to choose to do that in the natural spiritual way, earth-based way, or are you going to try to do that in the unnatural way? So this is one of the things we're going to see. Also, many new ways, innovation and inventions of communication, sharing information, journalism, social media, gadgets, short distance travel, marketing, books, and other Gemini-ruled things. Whenever we have Uranus and Gemini, there's a lot of inventions, okay? So this is where we're also going to want to stay open and stay aware, because the phones we're using, they'll be thrown out the window. The computers we're using, they'll be thrown out the window. The cars that we're driving, they'll be thrown out the window. Gemini is all these day-to-day gadgets. So get ready for total changes in all of these areas. Also, Gemini is children's schools in the education system. We will have change and innovation in these areas, which is fantastic because there's been a lot of weird ass, messed up things happening in the education system, which the education system we've had in Western society up until this point, as I'm filming this video in June 2025, has been the Rockefeller-based education system, which, was designed to enslave and brainwash children. So there's going to be new, more positive education systems, which is great. Also, fast change to how our local communities look. Gemini rules the local communities, including streets, roads, stores, schools, towns. Remember, Gemini is a lot of things. Things are going to be changing in front of us very fast. All of a sudden, we're going to wake up one day and be like, whoa, I'm in that future that I saw in the movies or that I envisioned of, a long time ago. As I said earlier, all USA major wars happened with Uranus and Gemini. Last time we had this transit was World War II. I think we may have echoes of World War II, the Civil War. I hope there isn't another war, okay? But send our prayers towards that. Definitely major truths being revealed about what actually happened during those times. I was feeling this so strongly as I was preparing for today's video. And Spirit was making me feel how, in current times, we're seeing that people literally think that, for example, Trump is a dictator and the Republican Party is communist in America. Just using this as an example, there's the Trump derangement system. There's people that in present time are not seeing clearly what's going on. And, I'm not saying that if you don't have the same personal opinion as me that you're stupid. What I'm just saying is there's a lot of, through the woke agenda and the brainwashing of Neptune and Pisces, what we've just come from, even right now, there's a lot of people on the planet that are not seeing through what's going on, and they're believing in real time media narratives that are false and not even real. So what does that mean for our recent history and even our far back history? I have a feeling a lot of it's not even real. And, history repeats itself. So with Uranus and Gemini, I feel like we're going to have major truths revealed about what happened in World War II, what happened in the Civil War, and also those time periods. Shocking truths about our history being revealed. I'm feeling that intuitively very, very strong. And a few more things I have to share with you guys here for the collective before we get into each of the 12 sign readings. Some challenges that we'll have to deal with Uranus being in the sign of Gemini is acclimatizing to rapid change. In medical astrology, nervous system issues. Okay, Uranus is electricity, the electric impulses of the body. Gemini is the nervous system. So this can be us having really a potential for overactive nervous systems, more like ADD tendencies, anxiety, feeling buzzing throughout our body. So also instability, Uranus of the mind, Gemini. So really important astrological remedy for this transit is to spend time in nature, to be grounded, to be mindful how much information you're taking in, how much time you're spending on devices, because some people may get total information overloads and burnouts, as a challenge. Also in the medical astrology, we will have innovation in the field having to do with lungs, shoulders, arms, hands, nervous system, breathing, and the mind, all ruled by Gemini. Now, before we get into each of our 12 sign readings, let's pull some tarot cards for the collective. What does the universe want us to know through the tarot about Uranus? Okay, we got one falling out. Oh my God, this one just fell out. You guys, the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. I wasn't even done asking my questions. See, this is Uranus and Gemini, things happening fast. It's hard to keep up with what's going on. So I'm asking, universe, what would you like us to know through the tarot cards about this Uranus and Gemini transit from 2025 to 2032? Very big energy shift. What would you like us to know? Okay, interesting. Like as I'm pulling the cards, I'm seeing Merlin. Oh my God. Merlin, the ancient wizard. Merlin's coming through. Our intuition's really opening up, our higher mind, our gifts. Oh my gosh, you guys. Holy crap. These are really positive cards. Okay, just one moment. I'm going to pull a bonus card as well. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm getting really excited with Uranus and Gemini. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Also with 2 major arcana, the Lovers, which is a Gemini card. Interesting. I'm hearing like psychically, I'm hearing the old-timey World War II music, like the dun 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 dun. Do you guys know what I mean? That old-timey when people used to sing kind of like this. And today we're going into Uranus and Gemini. I'm like hearing all that. Maybe that music is going to make a comeback, or I'm just having a total ADD moment right now. Another major arcana, the Strength. Whoa. And our bonus card, the 4 of Cups. Wowzers. Okay, well, first of all, Ace of Pentacles flew out. Ace of freaking Pentacles, okay, which is about abundance, prosperity, opportunity, manifestation. Wow. The affirmation on the card, the time is right to take action on your ideas. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so overall, this is going to be, and it shows up in the chart, extremely positive for humanity. Pentacles have to do with earth-based things, in particular finances and our resources, breakthroughs in how we make money and how we enjoy the pleasures of life. I'm getting a lot of jobs are going to change with this in positive ways. Might be shocking at first, but this is in positive ways. The Lovers card, which is a Gemini-related card, the affirmation says, celebrate the love in your life. Keywords, inspiration, motivation, love, beauty, commitment, choices, unity. And interesting that, at the ingress, Uranus is going to be conjunct Venus. This is bringing positivity, change, breakthroughs, innovation in our relationships, in our commitments with others. Wow. And then the Strength card, like we are getting through this. And this is making me feel a little bit emotional. I feel like this is what we've been waiting for. Uranus and Gemini is going to help us. This is going to help us. This is really going to help the energy. It's going to bring us inner strength. It's going to bring us collective strength, renewed confidence, passion, courage. Look at the affirmation. You don't know your own strength until it's tested. Wow. My mind is like blown, right? And then the 4 of Cups, which is about choices. Don't let your focus close you to new ideas. Contemplation, apathy, close. This is helping us get out of being jaded. Thank God. Okay. This transit is going to bring more fun. It's going to bring more play. It's bringing a lot of choices where, remember, are you going to choose the natural timeline or are you going to choose the unnatural timeline? That's very important. There's going to be many choices with this going into Gemini, and not all the choices are good, okay? But ask yourself when the choices come up, is this in alignment with the natural timeline or the unnatural timeline? And that'll help you get through it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yay! We got awesome tarot cards. Okay, now we're going to get into each of the readings, predictions for each of the 12 signs for this transit. And we're going to start with our Aries. Let me bring up the chart for Aries. One sec here. Aries, Aries, Aries. Okay, here we go. Aries, and you can listen when we do these to your sun, your rising, and your moon. Okay, listen to 3, putting, very important emphasis on the rising and the sun. So Aries, you are having Uranus and Gemini in your 3rd house. This is a time from 2025 to 2032, the next 7 years of higher mind insights, change, unexpected change in your mind, in your perspectives. This is a great time for genius creativity. Uranus isn't just one of the creative influences in astrology, it's genius energy. Also, unexpected, unusual, like-minded community and or friends coming into your life. You're having it in the house of Gemini. So this is going to be, wow, really, really strong for you guys. Wake up out of the matrix of siblings, friends, and neighbors. Great time to study Uranian-ruled subjects such as spiritual science, quantum physics, astrology, outer space, technology, humanitarianism, all those Uranian, Aquarian-ruled things. Great transit for social media, podcasting, sharing information via the internet in innovative and new ways. This is very electric, fun, also unexpected, short distance travel can be coming up. And Uranus is the ruling planet of your 11th house, where you've got the sign of Aquarius. So this transit is also activating, really much so bringing like-minded people into your life, being open. You Aries are going to be, I think, along with the Aquarians ruled by Uranus, the most naturally open to the changes that are going on. So yay, Aries, you're going through very intense transits with Saturn and Neptune and Chiron in your sign. But yay, you're going to get through this transit. You're going to be open to it, I think, a lot more than some of the other signs, and you're going to help the other signs step into it, which is great. That's what I've got for you, Aries, and I'm sending lots of love your way. Have an amazing Uranus and Gemini transit. Okay, next we go to our Taurus, rising, sun, and moon signs. Woo! Okay, my fellow Taurus, I've got my rising in Taurus. We have been going through Uranus and Taurus the past 7 years. So I don't know about all you Taurus placements. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, my past 7 years have been totally Uranian. I became a professional astrologer, full on, ruled by astrology. I moved to Belgium unexpectedly. I got locked out of Canada unexpectedly. It's just been crazy thing after crazy thing, instability, unexpected events, lots of new like-minded community and groups coming into my life. Wow. So Taurus it's been a blast. It's been weird. Uranus is out of our sign and Uranus is at fall in our sign. So this is going to be like, okay, we've gone through a lot of significant change. Now it's a breath of fresh air. We got Uranus off our back, and the Uranus and Gemini transit is going to be in our 2nd astrological house, which happens to be the Taurus ruled areas of life, the 2nd house, right? So this can be sudden change in our values, self-worth over the next 7 years, new income streams, Uranian or Gemini ruled income streams, through communications, social media, astrology, spiritual science, technology, innovative new ways of income streams. Be open to that, Taurus, because there's going to be opportunities. Remember, Ace of Pentacles is bringing us opportunities. Also, with Uranus in the 2nd house, this can be a transit of financial independence, experiencing pleasure through Uranian things, likely a change in our favorite foods. The 2nd house of Taurus is food and drinks that we like. So we may all of a sudden like, different kind of foods, different kind of drinks, different kind of flavors. You're not going crazy. It's Uranus in your 2nd house. There can be, wherever we have Uranus transiting over, even though it's not a malefic planet, it's fun, it's electric, it can be instability. So we can go through, during this period, some times of instability with the resources or income, not trying to call that in, but just saying, be really mindful of your income, your resources, your finances. There could be like really big ups and downs at times. We can sometimes see that. And also Uranus is the ruler of your 10th house, where you've got the sign of Aquarius. So this is bringing innovation, breakthroughs, new opportunities to your work, career, long-term goals, consciousness expansion to your parents and older people than you in your life. Wishing you a magical Uranus and Gemini transit, Tauruses, and see you next time. Okay, now we've got our Gemini sun risings and moons. Gemini, Uranus is entering your sign. Woohoo! Ask a Taurus what they've gone through the past 7 years. Okay, this is not going to be boring at all the next 7 years with Uranus in your sign. And Geminis are never really boring, but this is definitely not going to be boring. So you can be having unexpected and shocking life events, developments during this transit. Unstable, weird times, okay, positive and sometimes can be really challenging, but are bringing you towards a place of liberation. One of the key words with Uranus is liberation, okay? So even if there may be times where it's super weird and unstable and you're like, what the fuck is going on right now? It's bringing you into even more freedom and liberation. Good time to embrace weird, different ways of doing things. You may be becoming more eccentric during this time, may be becoming even more weird than you already are, Gemini. There can be a drastic change in your physical appearance, how you're seen by others in the public. Major higher consciousness and intuition awakening with Uranus in your sign. Random flashes of insight, creativity, and even genius. You can be feeling more rebelliousness or seen as a rebel by others. And really important in the medical astrology, you may have like an overactive nervous system or feeling buzzed. So really important for you, as I said earlier in this video, for everyone, but especially for you with Uranus in your sign, doing extra grounding, earthing, taking regular salt baths, doing red light therapy, grounding things, because you're going to be feeling, really buzzed with Uranus in your sign. And Uranus is the ruler of your 9th house, where you have its ruling sign of Aquarius. So this is also bringing breakthroughs, innovation, and opportunities of unexpected foreign travel, higher learning, publishing, could even be some legal matters coming forward. But all in all, Gemini's, Uranus and Gemini is going to be really positive developments for all of us. So I'm really excited for you. Embrace the weirdness, okay? Love you guys. And next, we're going to move to our Cancer sun risings and moons. Okay, so Cancers, you're going to be having this Uranus and Gemini transit in 12th astrological house for the next 7 years. This is, major time of spiritual, higher consciousness awakening and activation. You can be going through major intuition downloads and breakthroughs. In particular, Cancers, you're going to have the gift of prophecy with Uranus in your 12th house. Remember, Uranus rules the future, being future forward thinking. 12th house is one of the houses that rules our intuition abilities, our dreams as well. So you can have prophetic dreams. You can be having prophetic insights. You may be becoming a prophet. You already are one of the most intuitive signs, and Cancers that I know personally already are kind of like prophets. So you're going to be really feeling it intuitively. 12th house also rules far away, distant locations. So this can be unexpected, weird trips coming up for you during this transit to unusual foreign places. Great time for alternative spiritual and or creative practices. One of the houses, again, of creativity. So like genius levels of creativity and creative inspiration. Very vivid dreams, psychic, as I said, prophetic dreams. This is also a time of liberation and breakthrough of stagnant blocks on your healing journey. In medical astrology, maybe a little bit of sleep issues. Okay, I hope not, but just saying it's the 12th house of sleep. Uranus is electricity. So, the earthing people, earthing.com, they have like earthing bed mats that you can put on to keep you grounded throughout the night. I'm feeling intuitively that might be something that you want to check out, Cancer, if sleep issues do come up for you. And also, you've got Uranus as the ruler of your 8th house, where you have the sign of Aquarius. So this is also breakthroughs and opportunities in how you merge with others, your shared resources, your healing journey, Scorpio. This is going to be very transformational and I think empowering for you. So sending lots of love your way and wishing you a magical Uranus and Gemini transit. Next, we've got our Leo, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Leo, wow. You are going to be having Uranus and Gemini in your 11th house, which is the Aquarian house, the Aquarian ruled areas of life. Uranus in his home house. So for you, you might want to rewind to this whole video, watch it again, because this is going to be very strongly felt for you. The next 7 years are a huge time of freedom, liberation, change, innovation, and breakthroughs for you. Expansion of gains as well. The 11th house is not just the Aquarian areas, it's also the house of gains. You can be gaining more abundance. You can be gaining more friends. You can be gaining more positivity in your life, gaining whatever you consider to be a gain. So very powerful for you at the beginning of this Uranus and Gemini transit to set your intention. What is it that you want to gain? What is it that you want to receive? We got Ace of Pentacles. This is a time of opportunities, positive expansion. There can be, in particular, gains through Uranian ruled things. Unexpected, also coming and going of friends. Okay, remember, wherever we have Uranus can be kind of unexpected, unstable energies. So, wow, Leos, let me know what's going on with all y'all. Sending lots of love your way. We've also got Uranus is the ruler of your 7th house, where you've got Aquarius. So, unexpected new marriage partner, committed partnerships coming into your life, unexpected or weird changes to aesthetic or style. So, it's also highlighting your 7th house of Libra. So Leos, this is exciting and not boring for you at all. Sending lots of love your way and have an amazing transit. Next, we've got our Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Virgo, you're having Uranus in your 10th house. Okay, right at the top of the chart. When Uranus enters Gemini, this is going to be right on the midheaven, right on one of the angles of the chart. So you're definitely going to be feeling weird, strange. There can be unexpected life events, breakthroughs, and changes happening. For the whole transit, it is one of the angular houses after all, but particularly at the beginning when it's on your midheaven. And in particular, the 10th house has to do with our work, career, long-term goals, older people than us in our lives. So this can be unpredictable change and unexpected events at work, totally new career directions, wanting more freedom in your career. Many Virgos will be stepping out of the 9 to 5, stepping into independence, entrepreneurism. Also, entering Uranian or Gemini ruled careers. Many Virgos will maybe enter the tech industry, astrology, spiritual science, innovative new industries and careers. New kind of careers that we don't even know yet because we haven't even entered Uranus and Gemini yet. So this is exciting for the Virgos professionally, and also a good time to integrate more tech online developments into your career. And you may notice higher consciousness awakening, waking up out of the matrix of your parents and older people in your life. Uranus is the ruler of your 6th house, where you have the sign of Aquarius. So this is also a time of breakthroughs, liberation of your health, wellness, day-to-day routines, and day-to-day work. Great time to be doing alternative healing modalities. I'm not a medical expert, but for Virgos, you've got Aquarius in the 6th house. So it's good for you to be doing alternative things, new innovations when it comes to health. And yeah, this Virgos, you are not going to be stagnant. This is going to be very big changes coming in for you. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments below, and I'm sending lots of love your way. Okay, next we've got our Libra, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Libra, you're going to be having this Uranus in Gemini transit in your 9th astrological house. This is a fun house. This is a light house. It's the Sagittarian ruled areas of life. So you may have unusual foreign people, traditions, or beliefs coming into your life, unexpected foreign travel or long trips, unexpected legal matters also may be coming up, traveling to weird and alternative places, but foreign travel can be fun. It's not going to be boring whatsoever. Also, you may be learning Uranian subjects in a foreign place. So Uranus is, humanitarianism trips, astrology retreats, spiritual science retreats, higher consciousness expansion opportunities abroad can be coming up. And since Uranus rules liberation, this is a time of liberation from Sagittarius, old stagnant beliefs. And there can be a sudden change in beliefs. You could wake up one day, Libras, and there's been a belief you've had your whole life, and you just got smack rolled and realize maybe that wasn't even real, or maybe that doesn't even resonate with you. Big changes to beliefs and philosophy when we've got Uranus in the 9th house. Again, higher consciousness expansion. This is for all the signs, but some signs in particular, like when you've got it in some of those houses that rule the higher mind, spirituality, it's going to be really felt for you. And this is an amazing time for studying, as I said, Uranian Gemini subjects. Uranus also rules your 5th astrological house, where you've got Aquarius. So, okay, this is about love, romance, fun, creativity in weird, new ways. So be open to the weird and the unexpected when it comes to ways of having fun, celebration, romance, and creativity as well. Also, Libras can be more likely to have unexpected pregnancy or having children with that as well. So sending lots of love, Libras, wishing you a magical Uranus in Gemini transit. Next, we've got my fellow Scorpios. Scorpios, how are we feeling? We're about to have Uranus enter our 8th house, the house of Scorpio, the Scorpio ruled areas of life. This is our home house. So, wow, we are really going to be feeling this transit. This is major transformation of our shared resources with others, merging with others in all of the Scorpio ruled areas of life. There can be unexpected receiving during this transit of financial gains through inheritance, taxes, investments, and just gifts of resources. We can see returns on investments through Uranian ruled things. I'm not a financial advisor, okay, but Uranus is innovation, technology, and investing in technology, investing in cryptocurrency, investing in also Gemini ruled things, courses, learning, schools, things that have to do with children or local communities, or day-to-day gadgets as well. With Uranus in the 8th house, we can have weird secrets being revealed. Remember, Uranus is weirdness. Are you guys getting the memo yet? It's weirdness, it's shocks, and it's surprises, okay? Some of the things it rules. So weird secrets being revealed that liberate you from past traumas or stagnant energy. Also, liberation, Scorpios, from our shadow side habits and traumas. Yay, because we're the sign that rules self-sabotage, and we can get really stuck in some of those shadow side tendencies. So I'm excited about this. This is going to spice things up for Scorpio. Also, of course, the 8th house rules sex and intimacy and sexual pleasure. So Uranus in the 8th house usually indicates a spice up in our sex lives, maybe trying alternative things sexually. That's good. It's good to keep things different, especially if you're in a long-term relationship, trying new things. Maybe you're trying Tantra if you've never heard about that before, or a new sexual practice. Also, very powerful for intuitive insights. We can have breakthroughs with therapists and self-healing work, psychology. And also, Uranus is the ruler of our 4th house, where we've got Aquarius. So we've been going through our ruler Pluto now in Aquarius. I think a lot of us are going to receive resources of like the gift of a house or a gift of an inheritance that can help us buy a house, or returns on investments of properties or real estate we've invested in. There's a huge theme of properties, real estate, home, family, starting to have a family. That can be a very Uranian weird thing if we've never done that before. So we're definitely going to be feeling this strong for sure. And I think this is going to be positive development for us. So Scorpios, I'm sending lots of love your way and have a magical Uranus and Gemini transit. Next, we move to our Saggy Waggies. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings are going to be having Uranus and Gemini in the 7th house. Okay, so this is activating your Libra ruled areas of life, attracting Uranian committed partnerships, attracting different kind of lovers than whatever is the norm for you. Be open to different kinds of people. Okay. You can be unexpectedly, surprisingly, is that a word? Surprisingly meeting your soulmate, meeting a soulmate in love, in work partnership, in friendship, a best friend. Remember, Gemini's is friends, siblings, neighbors as well. There can be unexpected changes in relationships. Now, I will say, okay, Uranus does rule divorce in astrology. So some Saggies may be going through a divorce during the 7-year period. Not all Saggies, but there can be a heralding of divorce or separation if there's relationships that don't serve you for your highest good. Also, working with Uranian type of people, maybe getting a personal astrologer, maybe you want to do more stargazing and there's a stargazing guide that you're working with, or maybe there's somebody tech that helps you with your business with the AI or the tech or the social media, right? Also, waking up of others, the 7th house is others in our lives. You're going to notice people around you snapping out of the matrix. And there can be a heightened need with this transit, Uranus in the 7th house, of more freedom and liberation in relationships. So relationships that are going to stick over these next 7 years are ones that let you be your independent, free, sovereign self. Anyone trying to control you or hold you back, that's where you may see some shocking separations. And Uranus is the ruler of your 3rd house, where you've got the sign of Aquarius. So yeah, this is bringing in friends, neighbors, like-minded community connection for sure. Changes to your day-to-day, your community. Maybe some of you Saggies are moving to a new, different community. So very exciting for you and all the other signs, and sending lots of love your way for this transit. Next, we've got our Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moons. Cappies, you're going to be having this Uranus and Gemini transit in your 6th astrological house. So this is a time of alternative health and wellness practices are good for you, being open to the strange and different health-wise. There can be sudden changes in your health. That can be good and that can be bad as well. So we want to be mindful of that. Making sure as Uranus, starts this transit that you are taking care of your health. You are, not completely being self-sabotaging in terms of your nutrition, your health, your exercise. If you're taking care of yourself, nothing too much to worry about here. There can also be, in the medical astrology, overactive nervous system, overactive mind. So again, my astrological remedy for you and all 12 signs is to do extra earthing, grounding, barefoot walking whenever possible to help negate some of that excess Uranus in the medical astrology influence. And some of you may be starting new Uranian careers, okay? Totally new careers from what you've done before, Capricorns. Careers or day-to-day work that is fun, okay? Things that help us move forward into the future, career paths that are innovative can be coming up for you. Some of you may start to work with friends, siblings, neighbors in your day-to-day work. And the 6th house also rules pets. So there can be unexpected new pets coming into your life. And also just like weird things coming up in your day-to-day. Your day-to-day is not boring at all with Uranus in the 6th house. Uranus is also the ruler of your 2nd house, where you've got Aquarius. So this is bringing new income streams, new breakthroughs in your values and your pleasures and enjoyments of life. So Capricorns, I'm sending lots of love your way and have an absolutely magical Uranus in Gemini transit. Okay, second last and not least is our Aquarians. Aquarius, sun, risings, and moons. Your planetary ruler in astrology is Uranus. Your ruler is changing signs into Gemini, which you are definitely going to be feeling. And this is a very positive shift because your ruler Uranus has been at fall position in Taurus the past 7 years. So with Uranus entering Gemini, this is going to lighten the energies. This is going to bring, funny enough, more stability. Actually, we're talking about instability, but will bring more stability, more lightness, more clarity for you as well. You're going to be having this Uranus and Gemini transit in your 5th astrological house, the fun house, the Leo-ruled areas of life. This is super fun, super creative, romantic. You may have new, unusual, or different romantic suitors coming into your life. This is a great time to be doing different ways of creativity, romance, having fun, celebration, connecting with your inner child. Similar to the Scorpios, because you both have this in the sexual houses, the 8th house and the 5th house, possibly spicing up the love life, doing things in a different way, trying different practices sexually can be a way to work with this transit and might just be coming up naturally for you. You are having a passion, the 5th house rules passion for personal freedom, Uranus. So you're feeling really confident with Uranus going into Gemini, really liberated into being more confident. Medically, there can be unexpected pregnancy or new kids coming into your life, so be mindful of that. And I think this transit is going to lighten things up for you, actually, because Uranus is the dispositor of Pluto being in the sign of Aquarius. So I don't even think I mentioned that yet in this video. Oh my God, I forgot to say that at the beginning, that, yeah, Uranus is the dispositor of Pluto and Aquarius. So that Pluto and Aquarius is going to get even stronger than it already is with Uranus coming out of his fall position. Wow. So love this for you, Aquarians. Very positive and fun. And I'm sending lots of love your way. Have a magical Uranus and Gemini transit. Okay, Pisces, we're back at you. Last but not least, and next video wise, you'll be first. Remember, I'm doing the back and forth, starting to do that. So Pisces, Uranus and Gemini is happening in your 4th astrological house. Okay. So, wow, this is change, breakthroughs happening with your home, your family, your emotional foundation, your emotional healing journey as well. This is, the house of our emotions. And Pisces, you are the most sensitive sign in astrology. So this can be, I'm feeling intuitively like real ups and downs with your emotions. I'm happy that we're out of Neptune and Saturn and Pisces for now. That's kind of stabilizing your sensitivity, but you're not going crazy if you have times where you're like really feeling emotionally happy and then really feeling emotionally kind of like you're processing something challenging. Uranus is in your 4th house. So highs and lows in emotions. Unexpected change to where you're living can be coming up. Pisces, some of you might move into intentional communities, like-minded neighborhoods or places, kind of new innovative types of housing, building can be coming up for you as well. Many will be unexpectedly starting a family, or there can be a new family member coming forward. And Uranus is the ruler of your 12th house, your house, the 12th house of Pisces, where you've got the sign of Aquarius. So some of you guys may be like moving to far away different countries. You may be integrating your spiritual or creative practices more into the home. This is happening in 2 of the water houses. It's activating for you. So your intuition is getting even stronger. You are sensitive. You're already highly sensitive, but I think this is amazing for creativity and your home, family. Can be fun for foreign travel as well. So love you, Pisces, sending lots of cosmic love your way and have an absolutely magical Uranus in Gemini transit. Oh my God, we've gone through the whole collective and each of the 12 signs for Uranus going into Gemini. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you've gotten this far, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my Meg Moonbeam YouTube and Rumble channels. All my links for my offerings and social media are in the description box below. And in particular, I've got coming up, which I'm really excited for, my upcoming Age of Aquarius live lecture and my Astrology Level 1, both happening in person at Akasha's Den in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Online streaming passes are also available for both. So for in-person and online ticket sales, you can go check that out at the comments below. And the Age of Aquarius live lecture is going to be, is it Sunday, Sunday, July 19th, I think. And then the Astrology Level 1 is one of the weekends in August. Sorry, you guys, I'm having a brain fart which one that is, but all the info is below. You can check that out. So thank you all so much for joining me. Yay, Uranus and Gemini, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.